What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. Let's talk about it. This is How to Get Away with Murder, Season 5, episode... I don't know. It'll be in the description box. All right, y'all. We back in this thing. Okay, we back to normal. We running on normal pace. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it because this episode was a really emotional, child. I was crying and everything. I shed a thug tea and all that. So let's go ahead and get started. So we start off with Bonnie. She's washing the blood off her foot in her bathroom. And, it's a strange man creeping and lurking and coming up in the bathroom. And turns out it's just Frank. So he tells her that he has told Annalise about Gabriel. And while they're there, he calls Annalise and she answers the phone. And he's like, listen, I have anything you want to ask me, you can ask me. I just didn't want to tell you or whatever. And she was like, listen, I ain't got nothing. So we see her and Gabriel standing in the living room and she goes into the kitchen and she pulls out 2 cups and pours them both a drink and is like, sit down. Connor and Oliver are in their hotel room trying to get their freak on. I mean, it's their honeymoon, it's their wedding night, excuse me. And so, but everybody's calling. Asher calls first, probably to say sorry for, eating your mama box in the parking lot. Then Michaela is calling and then Laurel is calling. So everybody's calling their phone so they can't get into it. But so they finally answer the phone and it's Michaela and she tells them to come on over because, they got to talk about everything that's going on. Laurel is telling the crew about Gabriel being Annalise's or Sam's son, and she says she didn't tell everybody because she wanted to protect them. Once again, they're like, why, girl? Why do everybody be keeping secrets? Somebody trying to protect somebody, and somebody always end up dead. And Michaela is like, well, this is not a good thing because I saw blood on Bonnie's ankle, and can't nobody find Gabriel. He not answering his phone. So we need to figure out what's going on. Annalise is with Gabriel, and she's like, listen, what you came here to do? I mean, only thing you gonna do is mess up the class action suit. I mean, it's not like you gonna destroy my life or nothing like that. But secretly in the back of her mind, I know she probably thinking about, is he here to expose everything that we did? Is he gonna tell? Is he gonna spill the tea? All of that stuff. But he said no, his mama taught him to be a good person. He don't know anything about his dad. His mama said that he was dead or he ran away, before he was born or whatever the case may be. He wasn't around. So he went around and he found his birth certificate and he found the name and he started researching the dad or whatever, and that led him to her. He just wants to know what happened to him. He know he got killed. He wants to know what happened and how and why it happened. And then we in a flashback. So Annalise comes home from the hospital. This is after she had the accident and lost the baby, okay? That's put you back in that time. So she's with Frank. She's very frail and, hurt and everything still from the accident. So she's getting home. And, Annalise don't have the best and most happiest disposition, okay? We all know that. Sam puts her in the bed, give her pain pills. And she tells him that the witness was a little boy and that he needs them. So basically, I think she was saying that she wanted to adopt him. I didn't really, get that at first, but, that's exactly what she wanted to do. She wanted to adopt him. And he was like, listen, he just said he not saying no, but, he's saying no. You know what I'm saying? Annalise says, we'll work it out like we always do. Boy, we ain't going to adopt no baby. You don't want to adopt the baby. Immediately after that, Sam goes down to the computer. He gets on the computer and he starts looking up Vivian Maddox. So I'm guessing now he won't try to see his son. Child, listen, you gonna lead the whole... When Annalise said, when she was talking to Gabriel, she said something interesting to me that I did not know. She said, well, your father, he lied to me too. I didn't know he was married. So he was lying to everybody or whatever. So I didn't know that she didn't know that he was married. And it seems like he was married to another black woman. You got another little half black baby running around here. So I don't know if that's true or she just said that to him. Y'all, let me know. Is that true? Or was she just saying that to him to try to cover her tracks? I don't know. She's just trying to get rid of him and let him know, listen, West is the one who killed Sam. Like, why are you tripping? This is what happened. Your daddy is a liar. He left your mama and he ain't come back for you. But we can see that Sam really did want to see Gabriel and he wanted to be a part of his life, but he just kept getting shut out. After he finds Vivian's number, he calls her and he tells her that he wants to see his son and he will do anything he can so that he can see his child. I was like, all right, now you opening up a Pandora's box now, Sam. Listen, Sam was a fool, honey. Sam was doing a lot. Bonnie is with Frank, and the Get Along gang called them, did Frank kill Gabriel? And Frank is like, Gabriel is alive. He probably at home sleep, or he probably hooked up with somebody's child. He ain't here. I ain't do nothing to that man or whatever. Oliver says, well, too bad. And I'm like, too bad? Who make jokes about killing people? And Oliver's like, well, a dead Gabriel would be better than a alive one. A dead Gabriel can't talk, is basically what he was saying. I was like, really, Oliver? The one person person who was supposed to be the moral high ground, now you making jokes about murdering people, baby. What's going on? What is you doing, baby? Oliver has changed, honey. He has changed. And we're back to Annalise and Gabriel, and this is when she says, you know, your daddy lied to you. And Gabriel says that he doesn't blame Annalise for his father's death. He just wants to know what happened. And she like, Wes killed your daddy. I mean, that's what happened. She gets up and walks out the room to go get something. We back in another flashback. Bonnie comes over to check on Annalise, and Sam is grateful that she came over to check on him, and he kind of, you know, stops and talks to her because, you know, at that time, she had a little feeling for Sam, you know, there wasn't, you know, doctor-patient type relationship, you feel me? He's telling her that, you know, he didn't even get to hold a baby. So, you know, in that moment, I kind of felt for Sam a little bit because he don't get a chance to mourn like he probably needs to because he got to help take care of Annalise and make sure that she's okay. So it was just a moment where he could express his feelings and say, listen, I ain't even get to hold a baby or whatever. Annalise comes down the stairs and asks Bonnie to come up. Frank also comes over and she like, we not working today. And he was like, I know, I just wanted to check on you, whatever. You can tell that Frank feels very guilty about what has transpired and he really wants to tell her what happened. So Bonnie and Annalise go upstairs and Annalise gives Bonnie a envelope. And Bonnie is like, what is this? And she's like, listen, Sam can't know about this. You know, I know that you love Sam the same way I love him. You know, I put you up on game, girl. I see you, girl, okay? But what you're not going to do is tell him, I need you to choose me right now. So she says, okay, and she takes the envelope. Now, this is for the adoption for Wes. She's going to go through with the paperwork, you know, whether or not Sam wants to do it or not. She wants to try to adopt Wes. At the same time, we see that Frank and Sam are downstairs, and Frank is like, I want to tell her what's going on. And Sam is like, you see how she look. You see she in pain. You know, she don't need to know all of that or whatever. Like, you tripping. And he was like, you know, basically, you going to tell her what you did so you can relieve yourself of guilt, and you going to leave us all in a mess and a shambles. Like, hell no. You going to take this secret to the grave. This what you going to do. You can talk about it with Jesus. All right? Now we back to the present. Annalise comes out of the room with the computer, and this is the voicemail that Wes left for her. I think it was in the first season, if I'm not mistaken, or the second season, when he calls her and tells her that he can't let whoever go down for what he did. And so meaning he killed Sam. Gabriel is like, well, why did he do it? And she like, I don't know, he was crazy. Maybe he was sick in the head. Like, I don't know why he did it. You know, she know why he did it. What was interesting to me was later on, she did say something about him killing Lila. To me, it's like you dropped that extra tidbit. That's going to lead back to the path of why he ended up dead. Because they found out about it and he tried to kill one of them and they killed them. Then Frank is the one who actually killed Lila, so that's going to put the child, listen, this is a web, honey. They have weaved a web, okay, in these 5 seasons. It's no way that they're going to be able to do their thing without somebody going to jail. You know, or put it off to tell the truth, without somebody going to jail. We know they ain't finna tell no damn truth. So Gabriel is just all caught up on, you know, why he died and what happened to him and all this. He trying to play this role. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm looking at Gabriel with the side eye, especially at the end of the episode, which we'll get to in a minute. But Annalise said, listen, she tired of y'all trying to blame shit on her. She didn't kill him, okay? At the end of the day, she ain't kill him. So, you know, it is what it is. Wes killed him. You need to take that and push. And then we have a flashback to her and Sam arguing about this adoption. Apparently, a lawyer called and asked about his social security number or something. So he found out she was trying to adopt Wes. And he was like, listen, I understand what you're trying to do, but that boy is not going to take the place of this baby. And when he called him a dog from the pound, I was like, no, you did it. No, you didn't. I didn't like that whole term. I didn't like that. I get what he was trying to say, like, you trying to take somebody's kid to replace the kid that you lost, but, you know, that's not going to replace the kid that you lost. We need to mourn the baby. We need to have a funeral. It's not going to help with you getting a dog from the pound. Like, I got the analogy, but I just didn't like the wording, okay? Maybe I'm just extra sensitive in 2018, but I ain't like the way he said, 19, it's 2019 now, but I ain't like the way he said a dog from the pound, okay? I ain't really appreciate that language. Annalise is saying, well, you know, he needs help, because he don't know the whole breadth of the story of why Annalise wants to adopt him. I don't necessarily feel like that would have been the best thing for him to be with Annalise, but I do understand her reasoning because it's more to the story than just she wants to have him because her baby died. It's no, his mama died and she played a part in that, and I know she feels guilty. That's why I'm saying at the end of the day, it's probably best that she didn't adopt him, but I understand the reasoning of why she would want to adopt him. But Sam say, listen, if you want to adopt him, you're not going to do it with me. Okay, I'm not going to be with you. And she's like, I'm going to adopt him whether you like it or not. And he was like, well, it's not going to be with me. And he get his stuff and he leave. And I was like, damn, Sam, really? This is how you doing it, player? I was like, dang, Sam was savage. Savage as fuck, okay? Michaela wakes up to the crew talking about Gabriel telling on all of them and why is he there and is he gonna tell and what information does he have and X, Y, and Z. Asher is talking about, well, even if he do go tell, we have a friend in the DA office and Bonnie's not gonna let Miller charge them with anything. Now I forgot they don't even know Miller is dead to the snow, baby. He is out there dead somewhere in the trunk. We're back with Bonnie and Frank is like, the way Ronnie look at you, he's not playing, he's not joking around, I think he's serious. And she like, I don't need to hear that. Right now, I don't need to hear that. I need to think he awful. I don't know if Frank knows that he's dead. I'm assuming that Frank knows that he's dead or whatever. But I don't know why he would say that. Maybe he don't know he dead. But the point is, she need to think that Ronnie was awful because she's killed him. I mean, she the one who actually killed him. I mean, I'm just gonna say that, y'all. He was alive, and she put her hand over his mouth, and then he died. So let's just get into that, okay? Nate would have probably went to jail, you know what I'm saying? But he would have beat that man half to death. It would have been a 10th murder. He would have did some years in jail, but he wouldn't have spent his whole life in jail. They should have just let him go on to jail. But then you got to worry about Nate telling on everybody, because Nate'll change up on you. He sure will, honey. He do that change up on you real quick. They probably don't want to go to jail. You're going to tell on their ass, okay? We back in another flashback. So we back in another flashback, and Annalise is waking up, taking her pills. She wakes up to take her pills. She kind of groggy. Frank and Bonnie are downstairs talking about, her hooking up with Sam, and he see how she looking at Sam, and he know that she likes Sam and all of that. And she was like, well, if he said something about if you like me too, I could make that happen. I'm like, what the type of shit you talking about? And with Bonnie passed, like, why would he even say something like that? Like, I didn't get that whole exchange or whatever. She asked him what happened in Ohio because he walking around here looking real sad and looking real guilty. And he was like, nothing happened in Ohio. He don't want to tell her what's going on and what happened, what he did. Obviously, he's not going to tell her because that's like the biggest betrayal that could ever happen. So he's not going to tell her what happened. Annalise calls Sam and, she like, you filed the divorce papers yet? Trying to be, sarcastic. And he like, nah, I'm by my sisters. And she's like, well, go on by your sister, whatever. I can't take her feeling sorry for me, talking about Hannah, his sister. Y'all remember Hannah from like season 3? So, or 2 or 3, one of them seasons. And he knocks on the door, and when we see where he's not at his sister's. He's at the old ex-wife's house. And so I think the ex-wife, the grandma, answered the door, and she like, listen, Sam, you need to go on about your business. You decided to leave. You've been gone for 3 years at that point, I think it said, 3 or 4 years or something like that. He just left, and she was like, you don't need to be coming up here uprooting this whole family just because you want to see your son, which I thought was wrong as hell. I ain't gonna lie, that's that man's son. Okay, he might have left his wife. Yeah, it might have been messed up, but that's still his son at the end of the day. Like, he should be able to see his son. So he basically doing the same thing Annalise is doing, trying to replace that son that he lost with the son that he already has and has never seen. And apparently she has never even let him see the son. So I don't think that he didn't want to see the son. He just had never had an opportunity to see the son or whatever. So as horrible as Sam is, don't get me wrong, he was horrible. That was still his son, and you can see that he really cared about his son and he wanted to meet him or whatever. But it was kind of selfish at the same time because your son been alive for like 11 years and this the first time you done made a concerted effort to really see your child, and it's only because your other child didn't make it to the world alive. You know what I mean? So that's kind of messed up. So she put him out, he leave, and as he's turning around to leave, he see the little boy bouncing the basketball down the hallway, little Chicago Bulls basketball, and it turns out it's little Gabriel. He like, oh, you a Chicago fan? And Gabriel was like, yeah, can I have my ball back? And he like, yeah. So he gets to the door, and the grandma opened the door and she see him and she kind of scoot him in the door real quick or whatever. And Sam is just standing in the hallway looking dumb. Like, man, that's messed up. I got a whole son out here. You know what I'm saying? I can't even see that nigga. It's messed up. Sam is trash. He a trash ass nigga though. So, I mean, like, what you expect, bro? Bonnie is with Frank again. She gets a call from Miller's phone. Turns out it's 8 calling her to set up an alibi, saying this is the last time you talked to him. He was drunk. He was disoriented. So obviously he has the body. He won't tell her where he at, and he about to get rid of that phone and the body. And, he needs her to, to know why. Because, I mean, obviously they boyfriend and girlfriend, they dating. She's going to be a suspect, so, she going to have to answer questions. Now I know that I answered my own question that Frank don't know because he thought that it was actually Miller on the phone with her and not Nate, who it was. She like, tell me where you at. He won't tell her, and that's that. And Annalise and Gabriel talk again, and she like, listen, Sam is dead, and you did all of this. You did all of this. and you know your daddy dead, you know who killed him, you know what, and what happened, like, really, it's over with. Like, I'm tired of people coming up in here with this BS. Like, I'm not with your daddy. He lied to me. I was a victim too, okay? Okay, go talk to Jesus. Call him on the main line. So Annalise is still in bed, and as she goes to take her pills, or she go to pick up the phone to call her mama, child services calls her. We don't hear what the conversation is, but then we go to Bonnie, and she's worried because Sam is not answering the phone, and Frank is like, listen, look at you. You just pondering over. Look at you. Look at you. Look at how you're acting right now. And so she's like, well, you know, Annalise, no, tell me what happened. She's trying to get Frank to tell her what he did, because she can tell he did something, but he won't tell her anything. So he's like, listen, I screwed up. I'm a screw up. You know, this is my life. This is what I be doing. I be messing up. That's how I live. It is what it is. Him and Bonnie have a moment, and, you know, they go on and hook up. So this is the first time that we've discovered that. I don't think it's the first time, because I think he said something slick to her, you know, in past seasons, where you kind of get a hint that they had something going on back in the day. But you could see fully that they, like, liked each other, and they had something going on. And it seemed like Frank is the type of dude that maybe wasn't getting nothing from nobody else, or he's weird, or people don't like him because he's kind of creepy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has something about him to where he kind of, you know, because he seemed like geek, like he got the cootie cat. He seemed like he was real excited about it. Like, I just want it to happen again. I'm like, he's so basic. I love Frank. Woo, child, this was sad. Annalise was in the bathroom. I think she poured some juice down the toilet. I don't know what she poured down the toilet, but she's like crying on the phone. She's begging Sam to come back home. She says she promised she's gonna be better. And then we see that Bonnie wakes up from her, you know, sex haze, and she sees that Annalise has not called her back. I couldn't see what was on the phone. I don't know if Annalise had called her or not called her, or they had not called her back. So she went up, she go to Annalise's house, and she finds Annalise upstairs. Looks like she has overdosed on some pills, and yeah, she starts to help her. I was like, man, this is bad, girl. When you talking about killing yourself, this is not good. This ain't going well. Oh my God, it was sad. It was really sad. Then we see Bonnie and Annalise come home. You know, she's helping her cut off her hospital bracelet. You know, she getting her acclimated into the house, and Sam is not there still. And Annalise starts to go on and on about how, you know, she don't know why she thought that she would ever be a mother. Sam had convinced her that she could possibly be a mother, and she started to believe it, you know, and even though her body kept telling her no, 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 you know, she still went with it, and it finally worked, and she was so excited about it. And boy, I started crying on that part. I ain't gonna lie, that was sad to me, child. I was just like, oh God, maybe it's because I'm 30 something and I don't have no kids and no husband and I want a baby. Made me think, like, you know, she was really, 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 like, she had said in her life that she didn't want no kids and she wasn't gonna have no kids, and then here you go getting all hyped up, and your husband hyped you up to have this baby. You finally get pregnant after you had multiple miscarriages, and you don't carry the baby to term. Well, you carry the baby to term, excuse me, but you get in this horrible car accident. So she started crying. She feel like it's her fault, you know. And then during that, we see the flashbacks of Bonnie helping her throw up all the pills, and, you know, helping her get herself together to take her to the hospital. Like, Annalise has really been through some drama, okay? She have her ways about her that I just think is the part of her personality. She kind of ornery, you know what I'm saying? Like an old person, like she mean. She has been through a lot, okay? And that part brought me to tears. I'm not gonna lie, I had shed a tear on that part. That was sad to me. And she tells Bonnie, I thought this was really important. She tells Bonnie that I'm so grateful to have you in my life, or I'm glad to have you in my life. And I think that's something that the now Bonalise, it will, and the Bonalise, that's a good couple name, huh, Bonalise? I think that's something that now Annalise may not say. She wouldn't say that now because she's so hard, and because she's been through everything and all the drama and all the murders and all the things that's happened. It will be hard for her to say something simple like that to Bonnie, like, I'm just really glad that you're in my life. So that was nice to, like, harken back to a time when Annalise was a little bit more soft than she is now. And so, and because I feel like Bonnie need that type of appreciation. She need that type of validation from Annalise. So she gave it to her at that moment. So I thought that was a nice moment between them. And also in that scene, she says that the adoption is not going to happen. So that's what happened when child services called her. They told her that the adoption was not going to happen. So this is what prompted her to, you know, try to kill herself and all that type of stuff. So we don't know why, but, you know, probably because it's like a conflict of interest, and she was her mama, or a lawyer, not even for her mama, for the company company that was against her mom, so they're not gonna let her adopt Wes. It just doesn't make any sense. So, you know, and that's when she was like, I didn't think it was gonna happen, but you know, I did it anyway, X, Y, and Z. So that was really sad scene. Like, it took me out, y'all. Out. Bonnie also calls Frank and tells her that, or they call each other and tells her that Annalise is okay, you know, everything is good or whatever, and they talk about them having sex. Do he have regrets or whatever? He's like, no, I don't have no regrets. I just wanted you to have it one more time, okay? I want it to happen again. I want the sweet pussy again, okay? So he geeked about it. And so she don't have no regrets or whatever. So I guess this is when they start their little fling-a-ding going on back in the day. While all this is happening, Frank gets a knock on the door. He opens the door, and we don't see who it is. They hand him a piece of paper. Sam gets home and Frank comes over, some kind of way Frank and Sam hooked up. Is basically Frank is like, listen, he pulled Sam whole card. Like, I know what you was doing. You went by your sister's house. You know, this what you need to do. So apparently that information was in that email because he gives him the paper like, listen, I see you. You doing the same thing she doing and it ain't going to work. You need to delete that email. Okay, you need to leave them people alone. And you need to come home and take care of your wife who needs you right now. Okay, because you're trying to, you know, do the same thing she doing. So it ain't going to work, player. If I got to live with this, so do you. So Sam takes it, you know, he contemplating like he got to choose. He got to pick either Annalise in that relationship or, you know, because if he told Annalise he was married and he had a son that was 11 years old that she don't know nothing about, their marriage would be over. So he going to have to make a choice what he going to do. Sam gone back to the house, honey. He gone home, and you know, Annalise opened the door, and he tell her that he's home. He come upstairs, and he hugs her, and he in her lap, you know, and they embrace each other. So he done made his decision. Oliver and Connor are in bed, and Oliver tells Connor that his dad told him that he was going to have to, you know, help Connor not give in to his worst instincts, and he's like, but I'm the one making jokes about a dead Gabriel, so who am I to be, you know, maybe you need to be helping me away from my worst instincts. Michaela gets on the couch with Asher trying to snuggle or whatever, and Asher like, gone, bitch, gone. That's right, Asher, you better tell her to go on by her business. So she was like, we don't need to be alone tonight, and he was like, listen, we both be making bad decisions about who to hook up with. She was like, we hooked up with each other, and he was like, exactly, bitch, that's what I'm talking about, okay? I can't nobody be dealing with your ass. Girl, you can sleep down at the end of the couch foot to foot, sis, but we not about to be snuggled up like, nah, fam, it's not about to go down like that. And I was like, you better know your worth. You better know your worth, Asher. Know your word, boy. That's what I'm talking about. And we also see Annalise getting in the bed to go to sleep as well. And then we enter another flashback where she's in the bed with Sam. And Sam gets up out of the bed and he goes downstairs to the computer where he decides to delete that email. Then we flash right to the present. Annalise is in the bed and she gets a knock at the door. She goes to the door and it's like a flashback and the present at the same time. We see Frank when he was going to the door to answer the door for the person to give him the paper. And when she opens the door and when he opens the door, we see that it's who? It's Eva. Dun, dun, dun. I love her and I'm glad she's back, okay? But she gives that same email in the present that she gave to Frank in the past. And Annalise is sitting there reading the email like, oh shit, he never loved me. And the girl is like, he didn't deserve you. That's what she said. And they read the letter out loud. Basically, he was saying, you know, the boy is beautiful. I never stopped loving you. You know, it was like really intimate letter. I wish I would have paid more attention to what was being said. I was trying to take notes and watch at the same time. That's hard to do. I missed some of what was in the letter, but the gist of it was, you know, I love my son. I never wanted to abandon him, but I understand how things are. You know, it is what it is, and I never loved you. Now, she don't know. Well, she do know that he deleted the email, I guess. Well, Eva must know. That's why she gave it to Frank, but basically that's what he was about to tell his ex-wife or whatever. So I'm like, ugh. So Annalise sitting up there looking like, well, damn, you know what I'm saying? He ain't never loved me. I don't really know what difference this is gonna make, but maybe she can give that to Gabriel to, you know, help him feel better about the fact that his father did really care about him or love him, so he would get off their back, maybe. I'm not sure what this letter is going to change in the present. But then we see Gabriel. Gabriel calls somebody, child. He picked up that flip phone and called somebody like, listen, they know who I am, so can you please call me back? Because he's sitting there crying, you know, thinking about his pappy. And when he saw him in the hallway that one time, child, when he went to get cigarettes, they ain't come back. No, he saw him in the hallway and, you know, he crying or whatever. And so he called and say, you know, they found out who I am. You know, I need for you to call me back. So obviously he have another agenda. Okay, because my thing is, why would you come all the way over here to do all of this shit, get a fake, all of that, when you could have just came up to him and been like, listen, I am Sam's son, you know. and just tell the truth. Like, so it can't be just for that reason. It has to be another reason why he's there. So obviously he have another agenda. Maybe he a police officer. Maybe he undercover or something. You know, he trying to get them for the crimes or something. Maybe he working with somebody that we thought was dead, like Dakota, or, you know, maybe what's her name, Mama, Laura Mama. I have a feeling he's connected to somebody that we already know, that have, you know, that they've done wrong in some type of way, and now he's helping them get revenge or whatever. But my thing is, I don't know. My thing is, what for? It's not like Sam was this great guy. I mean, he was horrible. Yeah, he might not have, I ain't gonna say he deserved to die, because he was trying to kill, or he was about to choke the shit out of Michaela or whatever. So that's why they killed him. He knocked him over the head. He just happened to die. You know what I'm saying? And he did have a hand in killing Lila. So I just don't know, child. All of this for what? Like, I feel like if Frank's character was more righteous, you know, if he was a better person, maybe it would be easier for me to, like, understand why all this is happening because of Sam. But at the same time, I mean, when you do, you reap what you sow. And they done killed a lot of people. They done, you know, wove weaves and set people up and all type of stuff, child. And it could be, Rebecca brother. Y'all remember Rebecca brother that they put in jail? They planted the drugs in his car or whatever and put him in jail. I said, child, that could be him. You know, he could be out. I don't know. It could be 1,000 different scenarios, okay? And I'm sure we'll find out as it goes along. But I thought this episode was a good comeback episode. We got some, I'm sure it's going to heat up when, next week when Miller comes up missing and they start looking for people and they're going to be suspects. You know, they all going to be suspects. That's going to heat up that case. But I was glad we got a little more character development and about with Annalise. And I don't know if I liked all the flashbacks. I felt like some of this could have been done without 1,000 flashbacks, but I did like how they weaved the flashbacks and the present together, like at the end, and you know, all of that stuff. So I liked how they weaved that together. So overall, I thought it was a good episode. I want to hear what you guys think about it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. If you want to follow me on social media, you can at WhoIsAprilDawn on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Snapchat. Okay, so y'all have a blessed week, and I will holler at y'all next week. Peace.